What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rusty and Billy's Wrestling Adventure. Looks like we're on episode 9, man. 9 weeks into this. Had a big weekend this weekend, Elimination Chamber.
I reckon.
Hope everyone got to watch that. It was good. It was good. Only 4 matches. I think there was only 4 matches, but all were entertaining. Man, let's just jump right into that because between that and then kind of the Monday Night Fallout, there's a lot to talk about. So
Uh,
first and foremost, I thought the women's match kicked it off. I thought it was a great match as always. I can't think of one women's PLE match like I know every chamber match they've had has been great.
mhm.
But I feel like every time you put them on a big stage like that, like they always perform, man.
Yeah,
Like they always step up.
absolutely. Well, they have the men to compete with, right? And
Yeah.
they know that, um, what they've created, the past 10 years, 10 plus years, or so. They want on that same level as the men, and
Yeah.
and they are, and they have been for a long time now, and it's great to see. So they just want to keep delivering and keep up that momentum, and just keep on par with their male counterparts, and have successfully done so for quite some time. And they go all out. No stops where we're left, all were pulled out, as they say. Tiffany Stratton, bless her heart,
Oof.
um,
Busted that nose, man.
either her nose or mouth, I couldn't tell, one of the two, but
It looked like it was her nose because it looked like it was running down. When she did that moonsault, it looks like she just face planted, man.
yeah,
Mm.
she don't care though.
Oh, I mean, she didn't miss a beat. She
100%.
didn't miss a beat. Like she kept right on rolling. Matter of fact, live when I watched it, I thought, man, it looked like she might have hit hard. Didn't think nothing of it because she kept going. Then it was just maybe 20, 30 seconds later, they kind of did this shot and you could kind of see, it looked like blood was dripping. I was like, dang, is she busted? And the way the camera was moving a lot, with so much going on, I couldn't catch it right away. And then I finally saw it and was like, oh yeah, I bet she face planted on that.
For sure. And, talking about this match before, I kind of thought, well, here's Rhea Ripley and everybody else.
Yeah.
My pick going into this chamber match was Raquel Rodriguez. I thought, well, maybe, of course, at the time I'd picked Raquel. I didn't see Rhea and Io losing the tag team titles the night before on SmackDown to Nia Jax and Lash Legend. So there's that. So now Rhea doesn't have to go to WrestleMania with Io as the tag team champions, which would have been fine.
Which I
But
think last week we'd kind of talked about that is how are they going to maneuver that,
mhm,
with Mania coming up and you've got them as tag champs. EO's not in the chamber, so we were if we'd have just waited a few more days, we would have seen it play out. But
yeah,
but I think that was a good move by WWE. As much as I don't really care for Nia Jax or Lash Legend, you had to get the belts off of Rio. Um, you knew that tag team wasn't going to go forever.
oh yeah, we
You
knew
knew it
that
was a short-lived thing. So, at some point they did their thing. They were there for each other. It was a great story. It was the perfect opportunity to kind of split that and now redirect Rhea over here and now and we can get into this more later when we talk about Raw, but EO is going to be in a match, to try to earn a number one contender for the Intercontinental title. So
right, right.
so good things playing out for both of them.
For sure. Yeah, Rhea was even talking. Her and Io were collaborating on gear for WrestleMania, and then they lost the tag titles, and
Yeah,
all of a sudden Rhea won the chamber match. And so Rhea's going to face Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship now. So,
which
and
will
there
be a
is,
great match.
and there, and
It's going to be
right away, there is online beef.
oh
Right
yeah.
away, it is, there was no simmering. There was no preheat. That oven is all the way on, folks.
Yeah.
If you just want to look at X, um, yeah, Rhea and Jade have shared some barbs and
Yeah.
have, quite frankly, broken the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Uh,
That is going to be as much as we talk about Roman Punk. After that, it's like, dang, this is going to be a heated build.
it's
Like
already heated. It's literally
it's
been just a couple days, and it's that pot is hot.
well, what I love about it, and we'll talk about the Roman Punk thing later on too. But what I love about it is it's like it's so good. You question like, dang, are they being for real? Like this sounds like some real beef. Like, this sounds like personal, which is perfect. That's what you want.
That's what we want.
That's exactly what you want. Now, I love when you get the behind the scenes stuff and you find out there was some realness, like when we found out Rollins' reaction to Punk returning was real because he didn't know he was coming back. That makes that much more fun to look back on and watch. So, I do wonder, will we ever find out what real feelings are there? Maybe, maybe not. But I love when they tiptoe that line to where, dang, that sounds like there's some genuine feelings behind that. Like, that's when you know you're cutting an incredible promo.
Yeah, I've always felt that. I've always felt like there's no what's the word? There's no acting here. There's no what we see is what we get. What we
Yeah.
see, what we're getting is as real as it gets between you mentioned Punk and Rollins. Um, I think Punk and Roman as well. I think there is um, kind of some Rollins-esque hatred. I mean, Roman even said it himself. I'm going after you because I hate you. But I think really, like, there is some huge tension there between those two. They're going to deliver at WrestleMania. This could be one of the greatest WrestleMania main events, at least in recent history. If they get a copious amount of time and just go one on one, I don't see how it can fall through the cracks.
Are we
I
talking
mean,
about Roman and Punk, or are we talking about Rhea and Jay?
I'm talking about Roman
Okay,
and
okay.
Punk.
I didn't know if we had.
Rhea and Jade, we'll see. Um,
I,
I expect Rhea to deliver.
yeah.
I think it's on Jade to kind of rise up to her level. Quite frankly.
My fear is that Rhea has to carry Jade through the match because I've not watched a match yet of Jade. Even in AEW, when I did try to make myself watch some of that a few times, I just never saw anything about her that was like, dang man, she's great in the ring. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of she's being carried. Her skill set, her move set. To me, there's just not a lot there. I'm not crazy about her mic skills. There's just not a lot in Jade Cargill that I'm just a big fan of. Do I think it can be better? Absolutely. Does she have the look of a wrestler, of like a beast wrestler? Absolutely. I think physically, like when you look at her and Rhea, it's a great looking matchup.
It's like
When you look at it on paper, but when you look at, the talent wise, I just hope and pray that Jade is up to the task of putting on a good match. And at the end of the day, I hope Rhea beats her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Rhea losing to Jade Cargill
No.
in any circumstance. That's always kind of been the rap on Jade Cargill, though, is she's just not as good in the ring. Quite frankly, the term green has been used quite a bit. I think Jade Cargill has come leaps and bounds in WWE and in her time in WWE the last couple of years compared to where she was, at least what little bit that I saw of her before. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's like two action figures going head to head. It's like two superheroes or a supervillain in this case, I guess. Rhea and Jade Cargill, they look like they're right out of X-Men,
Yeah.
just their builds. So, I mean, yeah, they're going to go balls to the wall. Um, but I mean, Punk and Roman is going to be chef's
Yeah.
kiss. I mean, looking forward heavily to that. Yeah, we are on the road to WrestleMania. We have made the last stop. We've stopped to use the bathroom. We stopped to get our snacks. We're not stopping. Now it is the next stop we make is WrestleMania. So,
So Rhea won. Now you've got the other five ladies and the whole where do they go from here? I was disappointed. Bliss was the first one out. Not
yeah, that was a
not,
shock.
not real happy about that.
That
Um,
was a shock considering she was the first ever winner of a women's elimination chamber
yeah,
match. And she was the first one out this time. Yeah, that was a shock.
yeah. I really I say worry. I don't necessarily really worry, but I just hope WWE Creative doesn't disappoint me with her because obviously she's older. You know,
She's not old.
she's not old, but as
Please don't
far as
even say
like
that. Not
career
at all.
wise, she's older. As far as been around, and there is this push of the younger generation. But I feel like she's got a lot left. Like I hope that she doesn't become just a just not an afterthought, but we'll throw you in here, throw you in there, because the fans love her, the crowd loves her.
Hmm.
Like,
Moved over, I think, is what you kind of mean. Kind of
yeah,
making room for the current
right, kind of step
generation
aside.
after
Yeah,
her, after Charlotte, after
yeah,
Bailey, after that class of NXT. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, just moved over. Still here, but just moved over here for a little bit
yeah,
while we raise up this next generation. Yeah, yeah. No, Bliss, for goodness sake, it's preposterous to say she's old. No, and she's, yeah, obviously got a lot left in the tank. I mean, we don't even need to have that conversation. She's
yeah,
not old. She could go for 20 more years and no one would complain. Um, but I mean, it's just, I see what you're saying. I get the concern. I keep watching. I think
yeah,
as time goes on, between now and WrestleMania, I think Bliss will have a prominent spot somewhere doing something. Probably with Charlotte. I don't think they'll be against each other. At least I hope not. I want to see them in a tag team scenario. Um, well, with Nia and Lash now the tag team champions, I mentioned it one of our first episodes. I'd love to see a women's TLC match for the
yeah,
tag team titles at WrestleMania. We haven't had that yet.
yeah.
That would be dope. Um,
I'm still down with you on that. I think that
mhm.
would be just an amazing match. You see the way that, like I said a while ago, the ladies step up when an opportunity presents itself. Seeing a tag team ladder match for the women would be awesome. The What I had hoped to see when Bliss came back was I'd hoped to see some involvement with the Wyatt Six, because she still
Mhm.
wears the gear like when she was with Bray and they had that whole thing going. So I'd hope there would be something there. I was hoping to see maybe her and Nikki Cross team up, because we have yet to see Nikki Cross in a match since this whole thing's happened.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they're doing there, but I'd hope to see that, because if you're not going to put her over there in with some affiliation with that faction, then I want to see Little Miss Bliss come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see more of the, I don't know, the spunky attitude. You know does that make sense?
Yeah, the pre-Wyatt Alexa Bliss,
Yeah,
the 5 Feet of Fury,
yeah,
multiple time women's champion Alexa Bliss, the
yeah.
star Alexa Bliss. Yeah, right now we're kind of in the middle of both. I feel like she's not possessed by Bray Wyatt or the Fiend or
Hmm.
any powers or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, she still carries Lily, or at least she did anyway. At least
I,
a version of
I
Lily
feel
to the
like
ring.
sometimes she does, sometimes
Um,
she don't. But
but yeah, since Charlotte, she's been teaming more with Charlotte. I think we've seen less of Lily. As far as just now kind of occurred to me, I think we've seen less of Lily. But um, yeah, she's not talking to dolls or playing with dolls. She's just kind of, it's Alexa Bliss, but with um, kind of that some Fiend kind of tribute
yeah,
jacket gear on. But for the most part, she's normal Bliss.
yeah,
Just kind of has kind of that same gear and kind of appearance when she allowed herself. Well, she didn't really allow herself. I think the Fiend got a hold of her and kind of,
he aligned with her.
he
Yeah,
forced her to align
yeah,
with him. I think is what
yeah.
I'm
He went and got
trying
her.
to say. But she eventually turned on him and cost him the match against Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
I don't want to talk about.
So there was that. I mean, that was
I'm
years
mad about
ago,
that.
and then the black stuff dripping down her face, and it was a pretty cool visual and all that, and yeah, that was a terrible loss. But anyways, that was then. This was now. Let's see Bliss, Charlotte, Nia, Lash, all the other women's tag teams in a TLC match. Come on, Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce, Triple H, Nick Khan, Road Dogg. Uh,
Somebody listened to us.
um, I can't think of his name right now. A guy in creative. Anyways, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Um, just
Ed Koski. Ed Koski. That's who I was trying to
just
think of. Ed Koski.
just ready to see what they're going to do there with her. And now you've got a lot of people, a lot of stories that you have to kind of direct now. going into WrestleMania. I mean, with it being a 2 night thing now, you've got more room on the card,
Hmm.
which is great. Showcase more talent. And with it not being until mid April, there's plenty of time to build, some stories there. I think it's what, April 18th or something like that.
7 weeks, I think,
Yeah,
6 or 7 weeks
it
from
feels like
now.
forever away.
Yeah,
But then after that, I think the next match was it Becky and AJ? Was that the next
it
one up?
was
Yeah.
Becky and AJ, and I thought AJ would win the Intercontinental title. She did, and referee Jessica Carr, of all referees, Jessica Carr, Becky calls her corrupt Carr. Um, she had to she had to try to put that turnbuckle pad back on
Oh yeah, I
afterwards,
miss you
and
had to.
then doggone it, Becky had to go into it, and I think she accidentally kicked Jessica Carr in the head,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't seem to care clearly.
Yeah.
But yeah, AJ Lee still tapped her out to the Black Widow submission. New Intercontinental Champion AJ Lee, zero ring rust after more than a decade off. By the way,
Yeah.
zero. It's as if she never left.
I thought it was an okay match. I maybe my expectations were a little high, but overall I thought it was okay. Kind of predicted it. We thought AJ. My only thought is if AJ doesn't win, it'll be some sort of weird deal where maybe Becky gets disqualified and they'll push this to WrestleMania. But with it being in Chicago, it was kind of like, even though she's not from Chicago, but Punk is her husband, you kind of felt like
Hmm.
that was the moment. And
Right.
so I wasn't disappointed. I was glad she won it. Like you said, 10 years of not wrestling. I mean, without, or at least not a solo match. She had that one mixed tag match, I think it was. But
Yeah.
I mean, impressive, impressive.
Yeah. And then Punk retaining the World Heavyweight title over Finn
Yeah,
Balor the next match, and then that was a very back and forth match at that. Um,
good match, but again, felt predictable.
yeah. We just always kind of thought, well, what if, Finn actually just wins it and spools everything? Could happen. But it didn't. But then Punk and AJ had the moment in Chicago, the two of them champions. That's going to be probably a WWE Tops Now card if it wasn't
Oh,
already.
oh yeah,
I imagine, and I imagine that that are fans of Punk and AJ and trading cards will jump on that right away if they haven't already. Um, yeah, I mean, and Punk's entrance. I have to
that
talk about.
was yeah,
Listen, I was the biggest Bulls fan. People from Marshall can tell you, my hometown. As a kid, I got bullied incessantly over my fandom for the Chicago Bulls. Jordan, Pippen, that whole era, before he retired and came back with 45. Um, Gosh, I'd be sitting in class and the entire class would chant at me, San Antonio, San Antonio. Like, and 90% of these kids couldn't name one player from the San Antonio Spurs, David Robinson. But nonetheless, it just happened to be who they were playing in the playoffs at the time, and I'll never forget that. But darn it if they didn't win every championship they played for while Jordan was there,
yeah,
before and after he retired and then came back. So every year I was just like, guys, look, chant all you want. They just won a title. They're going to win it again next year and the next year. And then he retired, played baseball, wore the 4 or 5, and then came back, picked up right where they left off, and
yeah.
won title after title after title. And I guarantee you've all seen The Last Dance. Great, great documentary.
If
But
you haven't, you
anyways,
need to.
um, man, but that entrance, the Alan Parsons Project song, Sirius, the Bulls theme song, and their PA guy, man, oh, it just hit me in a place that, oh, gave me warm fuzzies, man.
It was cool because I don't. That's not something I don't think crossed anybody's mind
No, it didn't. It
that it
didn't
would
with
happen,
me.
that you would do something like that. But
Mm-mm.
it was cool.
The only thing is he was wearing Blackhawks gear was Punk,
Yeah,
but he's more a Blackhawks guy than a Bulls guy anyway. Um, I mean, he likes hockey. I, Here in Arkansas, we couldn't care less about hockey, more or less. It's going to be basketball or football or pro wrestling. So, um, I just yeah, I just thought that was so cool. Um, I've played that song in my car every day that I've been I've been outside of my house. So then from there we had, oh, the giant box. The giant box. Now I did not expect
Oh man.
or conceive any living, breathing human being or thing to be existing in this box for 2 weeks
Oh my god.
while we wait to open it here at Elimination Chamber. However, that being said, since it was a living, breathing human being, the only person that could pull this off, being in a box for 2 weeks and come out the way he did, was Danhausen. I'm not super familiar with Danhausen. I know him name and face, and I've seen like just a minute or two of his work, so I know he's a funny guy. I know he curses, his his foes and puts curses on him like he did Dom on Monday night. Um, but I mean, what an entrance! A great entrance. I mean, had dancers come out. It's pretty amazing how like in this wooden crate, like there's this still a coffin inside the crate, and then out of the coffin comes like 8 people, including Danhausen. Like,
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know it was a real wrestler, so we're watching it, and I'm like, okay, this can't be it. This can't be what it is. Like, who is this weird dude dressed up as a vampire? Like, what is going on here? Where is the real thing coming from this crate?
he's very nice, very evil.
But so I was just like, well, that was real disappointing. Like, but then I started getting online, and seeing some things like, okay, we're gonna give it a shot. And then,
Yeah,
last night he was on there. His little segment with Pierce was funny. Like, I think he's gonna be entertaining.
yeah, he'll be all right. He'll
Yeah.
be all right, guys. I promise.
And like you said, he cursed Dom, and then Dom went out and lost. You know,
Yeah,
but segueing into last night, man, Monday Night Raw. I felt like it was one of the better episodes of Raw we've had in a while. Um, the Vision kicked it off, which oh well, let's go back though. We
what's left
missed,
of him anyway?
yeah, we missed some we missed a little piece in the men's where we finally got to see the Masked Man.
We saw multiple masked men. We saw
Yeah,
a masked guy on, was it SmackDown?
it was.
And it
Was it?
was or was it Raw? I can't remember. Anyways, we saw one masked guy, and they unmasked him, and it was no one.
Yeah,
Um, I think it's actually one of Seth Rollins' students that
it
fell in
was. Yeah,
line. But
and then
and then another guy at the Elimination Chamber caught him climbing up the change, and they pulled him down and took his hood off, and it was another guy that nobody's ever seen or heard of.
which the funny part about that was I was like, why is he climbing up the cage? Like it's got a top on it. Where's he going? But
Well, the door's shut. I mean, you're gonna,
it was a distraction. It was a distraction to
yeah,
pull the ref to get the door open, pull the refs away for the real Masked Man
yeah.
to pop up.
That's what
And
it was. The door was open.
yeah,
That's right, because Seth came through the door.
yeah.
And
Because when they all ran, I guess he was under the ring and he came up and walked up the steps, and you could tell by the build and everything. Okay, this is the real
yeah,
guy.
I could tell by the stomp and
Yeah,
just he kind of just the kind of swagger he
yeah,
had, just his build. I was like, that's Seth freaking Rollins, and
yeah.
it was.
It was a cool reveal, a great moment. Um, you're seeing, I think now, with Seth's been heel, you're seeing a whole character change now to me. Like he's complete face. Everyone went crazy.
Yep.
And then go to last night on Raw where you had the multiple masked men again to open the show when the Vision's out there.
Yeah.
And then they get everybody out of the ring except Paul Heyman.
Yep.
And then here he comes again.
And then Seth Rollins puts the chair in the back of
Oh,
Paul Heyman, just like he did in that same arena to Roman Reigns when
yep,
Seth broke up the Shield
yep.
12 years ago. Yep. Man,
And
oh man.
stomped him.
Funny how history repeats itself.
It's
Yeah.
well that is just such great like that's where you have to give props to WWE creative and the writers to recognize, hey, we're in the same spot that this happened.
Yep.
We're going to recreate it in this way with this. And I'll be honest, it went over my head. I didn't put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? Watching it and realizing. So,
I knew.
but that's what I love, man. I love that they do stuff that'll go over some people's head, but the people that really pay attention to detail, they catch that stuff, man. And so,
Yep.
this guy,
Indianapolis is
this
where the
guy,
Shield debuted at Survivor Series. Indianapolis is where Seth put the chair in the back of Roman Reigns that broke him up. And Indianapolis is where last night Seth put the chair in the back of Paul Heyman, which, shocking enough, no one gets to Paul Heyman like that. No
I
one.
can't think of any time I've seen someone actually physically get to Paul Heyman. I've seen people like, grab him by the collar and things like that, but it's the first time that I can just right off the bat think of where they actually did something to Heyman.
I've never seen anyone hit Heyman with a chair. I
No,
do
not at all.
remember the Rogue Bloodline a couple years ago in Madison Square Garden putting a very sleep deprived, you could tell, Paul Heyman through the announce table. I
There
do
was
remember
that.
that a couple years ago. But like I've never seen anyone full on
Yeah.
smack that man with a steel chair and then off in the ambulance. He went after getting stomped and his face bloodied, and LA Knight's driving the ambulance.
Well, so they load him in the
Yeah,
ambulance. They load him in the ambulance, and you see a car pull up, and Theory thinks that it's Paul, and so he's like, about time, blah blah blah. And then my man
Big Jim.
Jimmy Uso, Big Jim, jumps out, pops Theory, you know, beats on him for a minute, and he gives you that look, like that Jimmy Uso look, man. Like freaking love that, man. Jimmy is my guy. Like I love Roman, I love Jay, but Jimmy is my guy, man. Love Jimmy Uso. And then you pan over to the driver, and he's like, "I'll take it from here," and it's L.A. Knight.
LA Knight.
And he
Yeah,
almost hits the lady when he's going out. I
I
don't know if
know
you
it. I
caught that.
saw. I did catch that. I was like,
Like
oh.
she jumps out the way. I thought he was going to hit her or the wall, and then he speeds up. But
Yeah,
I just thought that was an awesome way to open the show. Which, Jimmy's mad because Jay got jumped. To open SmackDown
yep,
and
yeah.
take him out the chamber.
We even talked
Yeah,
about
we didn't
that.
even never
Jey
really get
Uso
to get
got
into that.
taken out the night before. Yeah.
And of course they're blaming the Vision, but now my opinion, I don't think it's going to be a Vision thing. I think it's Sammy.
Ooh,
I think it's Sammy.
that's good.
I think
That's
Sammy
good.
did it.
Mm, we'll see.
100%. That is my bet. I don't know how long the story is going to
That's a
play
that's a good theory.
and where they're going to go with it, but I say Sammy.
Yeah, I didn't think the Vision did it either. I thought
Too easy of a target.
Drew, because Drew's messed with everybody else. Why not?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I like that theory though.
I think
I
it's
do.
Sammy.
I do. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited about that story and to see where it goes. And then, of course, you had Theory and Jimmy in a match, and Logan Paul comes out, and they jump Jimmy, and all that. And then main event Jay's music
And
hit.
there's Jay.
Jay comes out with the crutches, and man, there's just man, there's just something about the Usos together, man. Like it's cool watching them do their solo thing sometimes, but there's just nothing better to me than seeing the Usos together. Their chemistry in the ring. I mean, there's been some great tag teams. There have been some great ones, but and maybe it's the twin thing. I don't know, man. But the way they work together in ring, it just there's no comparison, man. There is no comparison.
Yeah, it's part of it's the twin thing. I think.
Yeah,
I don't have a twin, so I don't know, but I imagine it is. It's like there's like a level of telepathy between the two of them. They don't even have to
right.
look or like communicate really, but they just know like what the other's thinking and what they're going to do without even discussing it or like touching base on it.
Well,
They
I've
just
seen an interview where
go
they were
and
talking
do
to
it.
them about some of their promos and how a lot of it they don't even go over together. They're just like you said, whether it's the telepathy or whatever,
Yeah,
or they're just that in sync with each other that they just feed off of each other, man, and it just flows seamlessly, whether on the mic or in the ring. I can't get enough of the Usos, man. Like I I want to see. I want more with them. I hope they keep the belts. I hope they keep them through WrestleMania. I don't know what WWE has in store for them, but I can't get enough of them together, man. So to see Jay come out and have Jimmy, because it's always Jimmy having Jay's back.
hmm
It's always Jimmy having Jay's back. So to see Jay come out and have Jimmy's back, man, I love that,
hmm
and I want more. I'm guessing they're going. I'm sure next week we'll have a tag team match. I'm sure they're going to try to do something with, maybe Logan Paul in theory against the Usos.
See, I was kind of thinking about that for WrestleMania,
Yeah,
based off of last night on Raw. I was like, well, that looks like a WrestleMania match to me right now. I don't
yeah.
know what else or who else could come into either team's scenario here to. they can go to WrestleMania with. So
but
maybe
it's going
that's
to
it for
depend
them.
on how the Who Jump Jay plays out. So
Maybe it plays out at WrestleMania.
maybe so.
Maybe, who knows? We'll see.
I mean, here's what it could be. This could go on. So for the next 6 7 weeks, they're fighting the Vision. Back and forth with the Vision. The Vision saying it wasn't us. It wasn't us. They go out WrestleMania. Maybe it looks like the Vision's gonna try to cheat to win or something, and here comes Sammy. Like he's gonna come help his boys out, and then he turns on the Usos, and that's when we find out it was him the whole time.
I did it, Jay. It was me,
Yeah,
my dog. You know.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
Because
Maybe it wasn't,
and maybe it was. Maybe I'm
but
wrong,
maybe it
but
is. Maybe we've already figured it out. I don't know. We'll see.
I think that's the kind of thing Sammy needs to really get that heel push, man. Like as much as I would hate it because I hate that Jay got knocked out of it and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd hate to see Sammy cheat them out of the titles or something. But it would make a great story, and it would be a great way to grow this Sammy kind of. I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. Just this edge in Sammy that pushes him over heel, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how I could see it play out. I don't know. Curious what you guys think. Um, there's multiple theories online. I've heard people say it was Drew. They think it was Drew. He's just picking off people in the chamber. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Some people are saying it's the Vision. I don't know, but I think Sammy.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I thought Sammy. And then when Sammy did that, I can't remember who he was talking to back there backstage, but I was like, man, I think it's Sammy.
When he batted the drink away, or
Yeah,
got
flipped the table, and
I can't remember who he was talking to either. I remember.
was it Cody?
I can't remember.
I can't remember who he was talking to then, but he talked to somebody back there. And then they walked off. He flipped the table and all that, and
Yeah.
slapped the drink, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, Sammy did that.
I remember that. Um, Speaking of Drew, couldn't help himself, could he?
I never can, man, never can.
Drew McIntyre just doesn't know when to stop or quit, or doesn't know when to leave well enough alone for the sake of his championship reign here. Um, if he ain't messing with him on SmackDown, he's entering the chamber himself and messing with the likes of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, and
Yeah,
man,
he's
which
just kind of doing what he wants right now.
and you know what else? Speaking of chamber, I can't believe we didn't get more wild stuff out of Javon Evans. We didn't get an OG cutter off the top of a pod or the top of the
No,
chamber or whatever. He got pulverized before he could.
yeah,
Logan Paul eliminated him with a
yeah.
pulverizer, which is a great move. Um, Trick Williams, you know, coming on the little spinning platform.
The intro was awesome.
Dope entrance.
The intro was awesome.
Was he the first eliminated?
Was he? He may have been.
Trick and Javon, I feel like were the first two. Logan eliminated both of them,
Yeah,
and it was Logan. Logan had 3 eliminations, I
he did.
think. So there was Cody, Randy, Logan, Javon, Trick, and LA Knight.
LA Knight. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that was couldn't believe we didn't get that out of Javon. Um, maybe he tried, maybe he just got pulverized and couldn't.
yeah,
But nonetheless, Randy Orton won the men's elimination chamber match, which I thought it was going to be Cody Rhodes. It wound up being Randy Orton. Won RKO later. Um,
What's interesting about that is that you saw Randy Orton seize an opportunity, which the irony there, and I want to see how Cody reacts on Friday because you remember what Cody told Sammy. He took advantage of an opportunity because Sammy was like, "I was helping you, and then you hit me with the crossroads or whatever
mhm.
to win." Well, now you see the shoe on the other foot here with Cody and Randy, where
Yep.
Cody's doing the right thing or whatever, and then Randy's like, "All right, RKO, game over."
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Cody wouldn't balk at that though. Like that's the nature of the match and nature of
I feel like it's going to get brought
Yep.
up. He may say something along the lines of that's just how it is, or whatever. But I feel like it gets brought up. But I'm excited to see where this goes Friday night. Um,
Yeah. But maybe Cody doesn't have to balk at it because on the post show
well,
of Elimination Chamber,
yeah, yeah, I
uh,
forgot all about that.
Nick Aldis, uh, imagine your boss at work. He just comes up to you and he's like, "No, you let me tell you something, you son of a," and just it's just starts jumping down your throat like that. You're gonna be like, "Whoa, no, man! This is wrestling. This is the WWE." Nick Aldis has had enough of Drew
Mm.
McIntyre and his shenanigans. He's like, "So you know what? I know Randy won the chamber match tonight, but guess what, Drew? You're gonna defend your WWE Championship this Friday night on SmackDown against Cody Rhodes."
What I'm gonna bet happens is McIntyre's gonna open SmackDown with "This is some BS" and his old little stick that he's gonna do. Like,
Nick Aldis trying to screw me.
yeah, I guarantee you that's how it's gonna open, man. But yeah, I mean, Cody, you got your title shot either way, man. So
So maybe Cody doesn't have to bulk at it after the fact.
yeah,
I feel like we're gonna get Cody Rhodes getting that title back on Friday night.
think so.
And I feel like we're going to have Cody defending it against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Because I feel like Drew is. Before Chamber, I felt like it could be a multiple man match scenario for the WWE title somehow or another. But now I feel like Cody's going to get the title back Friday night. We're going to have Cody against Randy Orton for the title
Drew
at
against Fatu.
WrestleMania.
Fatu's gonna come out.
Probably.
Fatu's gonna
Probably.
come out.
Probably.
Fatu's gonna come out. He's gonna cost Drew. So then you're gonna have one of two things. You're either gonna have Cody and Orton, Fatu and Drew, or you're gonna have a fatal four way.
Could be. Could be. Could be.
Because all of those stories kind of intertwine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, which I'm here for either.
Yep. Yep.
I'm here for either because Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre would put on a heck of a match. It, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, say less. Like that's gonna be
Uh-uh.
that's gonna be a great match.
Uh-huh.
But man, you put all four of those guys in the ring together in a fatal four way for the title?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
who's not signing up for that?
And then Jacob Fatu just wrecking everybody he can.
And he get his WrestleMania moment?
Man,
Like could that be where this story
I
goes?
don't see Jacob Fatu winning a WWE title just yet, but it'd be cool. I would not be upset.
Here,
It'd
here's
be
the
pretty cool.
here's the thing about a Fatu when you say that just yet is I feel like so many times WWE fails to really seize a moment. Like we talked about LA Knight. Like I feel like they failed to really seize the height of his popularity with the culmination of a title. Now, obviously you don't want to do it prematurely. I felt like Catapulting Jay was probably a little premature, just because he hadn't done a lot singles wise. You know what I'm saying? Because he was still known as the tag team guy. So I felt like that might have been a little premature. Wasn't quite, and obviously it showed he wasn't quite ready to handle that workload. But with a guy like Fatu, man, you don't want to miss a chance to capitalize. And right now, his popularity is soaring. Now, with that being said, with how popular he is, he can afford to not win it. You probably
Yeah,
don't want him to take the pin, but he can afford to not win.
yeah,
But it's kind of that situation like, man, if he doesn't win, it's not going to hurt him. What are the pros and cons of him winning it now?
mm-hmm. See, hmm.
The last thing you want is to put it on him and he have a lackluster reign and all that build up and all that hype and everyone's like, well, this has been a sucky championship reign. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't see that with him. Like with him, the way he comes across as so genuine on the mic and his in ring work. Like I think he would be a great champion. But I mean, you've got four guys there though that you could make a great case for to go over in that match,
Yeah,
which
for
makes
sure,
it that much more interesting.
for sure. We'll see. And who knows what the landscape looks like after WrestleMania as well. We don't
Yeah,
know if it looks the same, similar, or completely different. We've had both. We've had all the above in years past.
yeah.
So Um, yeah, lot to play out. A lot of road, a lot more road to go here on the road to WrestleMania in that regard, and in every other regard of
Yeah.
the matches that are going to happen and things that are going to come to fruition as they were. Um, so that's Chamber. Let's see. We talked about SmackDown. We got new women's tag team champions. We talked about, let's see, Raw last night. We talked about Punk and Roman a little bit.
Yeah, and I want to get more into that here in a little bit because there's a lot to dissect in their little exchange
Yeah.
there. But we mentioned a little earlier about Danhausen and how he you know cursed Dom. Dom goes out, which well he told Judgment Day he wants to do it on his own. They come out, JD and Finn come out. They're sitting ringside. Dom and Penta are putting on a great match. Penta, if you haven't watched a Penta match, like watch Penta, dude. He is so much fun to
One of the
watch.
best in the world.
Yeah, it's so entertaining, man. Putting on a great match, and then Dom's like, get me the hammer," and JD goes to get it. Finn gets up. No, he wanted to do it on his own.
No, JD, he wants to do it himself.
Yeah. So Dom ends up losing. Penta, congratulations, new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, man.
Well deserved. Kind of what I was talking about a while ago. Like, he instantly a fan favorite when he came into
Yeah.
WWE.
He's been a rock
Shot
star
up.
from the jump.
Yeah. And so I think it was a perfect time to put a belt on him.
Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, I've been kind of thought they were a month or two late, but it's played out well. Congratulations, love to see it. Hope he has a great title run.
Uh-huh.
I think what we're seeing now in the fallout of that is you're getting more of the face turn for Finn. You're
Think so.
getting that, and finally the crumbling and demise of the Judgment Day, which
Either that or another rebuilding of.
yeah,
I can see both.
yeah. I mean, that's possible. That's possible. The big question would be, with the Finn face turn, what do you do with the Judgment Day as a rebuild?
Maybe some other people just come in and just kind of assume roles within that group. I don't know who.
Yeah,
I don't think we're supposed to know who, if that's the
yeah,
case. I think there might be some surprises. Maybe some folks from NXT come up and are like, "Hey, we want to be in the Judgment
yeah.
Day. Hold on, here we come." So I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Hopefully, this means we get a freaking appearance from Finn Balor as the Demon.
Man, when's the last time that he came out like that? It's been.
It was WrestleMania 39 Hollywood, the Hell in a Cell match against Edge, if I'm not mistaken.
But let's just take a second because we've got some time. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time here because I really want to get into Roman and Punk. But let's take a second and look at Finn Balor because there's so much what if about Finn Balor.
Yeah.
When you go back to the very first Universal Champion, came out as the Demon, freaking awesome match, dude. Like if you didn't know who Finn Balor was before that, you knew who he was when that match was over. And was it a separated shoulder? Is that what happened? He
Uh,
hurt his shoulder.
yeah.
I think he got thrown into a barricade or something, hurt his shoulder,
Had to have surgery and had to be out.
and had to
But
relinquish the title the next day. And honestly, his career just never fully recovered because, the show goes on. You've got to, on the fly, come up with a new storyline. And, now you've got another champion, this, that, and the other. And when Finn came back, he never got that, hey, that's my belt and I'm coming to take it back. He never really got that.
he tried but failed.
Right.
I mean, he had matches but never was successful.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It just wasn't the same. And so it's like, man, if you could just go back and see what if he doesn't get hurt, how does that change the trajectory of his career? And all those domino pieces, how different they would have fallen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because you can dissect everything that happened after that, which it'd take you forever. But I'm just saying, like, it changed the whole landscape. Which which I mean that's the business. An injury changes everything. Look at the Vision.
Hmm.
They had this roadmap, and one by one they all get hurt. And you have to back up and punt.
Yep. And Finn got hurt at a time where he was new to Raw. Brand new title. The Universal title was a brand new, the world title on Raw, basically, at the time. That was the first Universal Champion was Finn Balor, and he had to relinquish this brand new title, being brand new to Raw the next night after that SummerSlam. Sucked.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, you got hurt on a brand where there's Roman, there's Seth. At the time, there's Sammy, Kevin, Jericho. Um, Kevin eventually won the title
Yeah.
the next week. Um, and just on a WWE landscape, even on SmackDown, you still had Cena, Orton. Gosh, I mean, there's so many players. I mean, just everywhere. So like, he never recovered from that. Hopefully, this will be the beginning of him recovering from that.
Yeah.
Once he eventually becomes full baby face, gets out of the Judgment Day, whatever he's going to do at WrestleMania, because I don't see him not doing something at WrestleMania. Hopefully, it's uh, the demon-esque side of Finn Balor.
I mean,
We'll see. I
you
feel like
may
I've
end
said
up
we'll see a million times this episode, but
you may end up getting Hillman Dom.
that's kind of what I was thinking. Or maybe Dom wants to get his hands on Danhausen for cursing him
Right.
on Raw and making him lose the Intercontinental title. Maybe Danhausen is the one that like magically makes the demon show up. I don't know. I don't know what Danhausen can do or what he can't do. I don't. I just know he puts curses on folks, and I know he collects teeth and hands them to Michael Cole. That's all I know about Danhausen right now. So,
I predict that WrestleMania for Finn Balor slash Demon will be Dominic Mysterio. That's my thought right now. But I mean, like I said, we've got so much time between now and then that could change. Um, Before we get into Punk and Roman, is there anything else on Raw that we missed?
let me think. We covered Penta winning the Intercontinental title. Seth doing what he did to Paul Heyman. Um, just that everybody's gunning after AJ Lee's Intercontinental title. There's going to be like a
Yeah.
six-woman number one contenders match next
Yeah.
week.
Oh yeah, because we'd mentioned earlier, so it's EO. See, was Bliss in that?
No.
No, it's
E-
Lyra,
EO,
Bailey,
Bailey, Raquel.
Raquel.
And then the other two would have been Ivy Nile was one.
Ivy. Now that's the one I couldn't remember.
And I can't remember the sixth. I remember there were six. There were six superstars on the screen on that graphic. If I'm not mistaken, there were six. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I
There
can't
was.
remember. It's hard to remember everything nowadays because
Yeah,
back in the day there wasn't that much to not
yeah,
to forget. There wasn't that much to not remember. Nowadays there's WWE has five brands.
yeah.
I mean Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Evolve, AAA, partnership with TNA, partnership with Pro Wrestling Noah. I mean the ID program. It's a lot. So yeah.
Now, before I get into Punk Roman, there was one thing that I've been telling myself I wanted to harp on this week, and it goes back to Elimination Chamber. Can we not have 5 minute entrances? Like, I felt like it took people longer to get into the ring for the chamber than the chamber match lasted.
They made every Elimination Chamber entrant make the rounds of the pods to for the face-offs and to greet all their other opponents. They did it with the women's match and the men's match.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't even mind them walking around and facing each other, but can you just get to the freaking ring? Like, I get you got to do your woo and all that goofy crap that you do every single time, but can you just have a little bit of pace to it? You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of taking 3.5 minutes to get down there, can we cut it down to a minute? It kind of happened in the Royal Rumble too. Some with a few of them, like some of them would run down, but some of them, my God, by the time they got in the ring, the countdown was on for the next guy. Like, the ring entrances are just getting a little long. Now, as a boxing fan, I love the ring walk. I love
Hmm.
it. I
Hmm.
think there's so much psyche to it. My favorite all time, and I know we're getting off topic, but I, being an Arkansan, I was a huge Jermaine Taylor fan. And when he fought Bernard Hopkins for the middleweight title the first time, he came out to Phil Collins in the air tonight.
Oh man, dun 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 dun
And
dun
when
dun
he
dun
came
dun.
out to that, I was like, I remember I had a bunch of people at my house watching. I was like, what is he coming out to? And I said, man, he done won.
That's Phil Collins.
He's
That
already
is.
won the fight because he comes out to this calm song, but
Hmm.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Like, and his demeanor was just so poised. You know, he's going against Bernard Hopkins. I can't even remember how many years he had held on to that middleweight championship. And some say the ending was controversial, whatever, you know, the score, but nonetheless, he won. And for me, like in boxing, in fighting, even UFC, like there's so much psyche in the ring walk. Like when I watch a boxing match, like well, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, I want to say it was I can't remember the first. It's the one where I think it's the first one where he came out in that where Wilder came out in that suit that he said weighed like 8 pounds. But you could tell by the way Tyson Fury walked out to the ring and the way Deontay Wilder walked out to the ring. He's like, man, Fury is all business right now. Like he's in this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
whereas for Fury, it was more of you know, he's or not Fury, but Wilder. It was like I'm putting on a show. I'm trying to look this and look. Mike
Yeah.
Tyson, his ring walk was just a white towel, head down, just cold stare, man.
Hmm.
Like
Cold Stone.
yeah, like there's just something about the ring walk. So I get it with the entrance, even though wrestling and boxing aren't the same you still want that same psyche, you know what I'm saying? Like, which is why I love WrestleMania because you always get a more extravagant entrance.
Right.
You know, it's a little more theatrical, and that's fine on that stage. But man, it was just like, okay, the next person's coming out. I'm gonna go cook dinner. By the time I get back, maybe the next person will be coming out.
Yeah.
It just felt like it took forever, man. Like,
Some of them did. Some of them did. That took a little while. Look, we're going to walk slowly around the chamber and greet everybody in each pod
yeah,
that's there and have face-offs and jaw jack for a few seconds. And then I'm going to go on to the next person. I'm not going to hurry to them. I'm
no.
just going to take my time and just saunter up there and
30 minutes of intros for a 20-minute match.
just
That's
look
what it was.
just look in like it's a shark in an aquarium.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I kind of felt that a little bit too. Javon Evans took forever, I felt like, and I love Javon,
yeah,
but his entrance, I feel like they had to tell him to
yeah,
like, "Hey, man, get in the ring." Like
yeah.
he just kept,
All right, bro. Let's go. Let's go.
"Come
Let's
on,
go.
man, let's go. We gotta."
But I still say Trick had the interest of the night, man.
Yeah,
Trick
that
had the interest,
was
and we hadn't talked about Trick much, but man, I'm still full on for Trick, man. I am on the Trick Williams bandwagon until I have a reason to jump off, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. Dude's a star. But okay, so let's get back to Raw and the part that I've been dying to talk about. I was talking to some coworkers about it today at work, but the Roman Reigns CM Punk confrontation there at the end.
yep.
You know, Roman comes out, which when his music hits, it's just like chills. You know, he kind of walks out, he gives you the one, gets out in the ring.
Nobody's like him.
Nobody,
Nobody's
nobody.
like
And
him.
when you look at how where he came from, like the big dog, this is my yard. Like, would you have ever imagined he would be who he is today?
I mean, he was polarizing, very Cena-like, frankly. Before he was our tribal chief, he'd get cheers, he'd get boos. He got booed when he won that Royal Rumble
Yeah.
2015
And was that in Philadelphia?
with The Rock's help. Yes,
Yeah, like
got booed,
booed out of the building.
booed. And when he won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, it was the next year, 32 in Dallas against Triple H. I was there. There was a level of Roman hate, noticeably there. When Roman beat The Undertaker the next year at WrestleMania. And the next night on Raw came out to just a flooding of boos. And all he said was, "This is my yard now." Dropped the mic and walked off. Just booed. But was still a babyface good guy throughout the whole time,
Yeah.
regardless of all the boos. Very, very Cena-like in that regard. And then here comes the pandemic, and Roman's
Well,
off.
the cancer thing happened.
Yeah.
The leukemia.
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
I think is where everybody's heart for him turned a little bit because he
Yeah, yeah,
came
yeah.
out there
You're
and
right.
had that real moment. He said, "My name's Joe,
Yeah.
and I've had leukemia." You saw instantly the fans were like, they saw the human side. This is no longer Roman Reigns, the performer. This is the human. This
Yes.
is the person. And he was gone for a while. And when he came back, it's like everything started to shift.
You're absolutely right. I'd kind of forgotten about that, but
But
that's
he
where it all
came back
shifted.
during the pandemic
Yeah, yeah. But
with the wreck everyone and leave.
yeah, Roman was Universal Champion. He'd beaten
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar. This is late 2018.
Mm.
So he beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at that SummerSlam, and then a few months later had to relinquish
Yep.
that title due to his illness, due to
Yep.
leukemia, and that's when the crowd was just like, "Oh shoot, this is real." Okay,
Yeah.
okay, we're not. Let's not boo him. No, he doesn't deserve that. We're gonna cheer and get behind him because it was a real life situation. It
Yeah.
wasn't nothing creative, nothing written. It was a real life deal, and you know, came back not long after that in remission, and it was a parade of cheers,
Yeah.
and it's been.
And then you saw him evolve into the tribal chief.
And then the pandemic hit, and then he missed that WrestleMania because
Yeah.
obviously the pandemic had just hit. He's more susceptible to
Yeah.
stuff like that because of leukemia that he has to take medication for on the daily, as far as I know. Um, but then came back that SummerSlam, work everybody and leave. I got the shirt.
Yeah.
Um, and then that SmackDown was sitting there with Paul Heyman, and it was as if like on Piper's Pit back in the day when Andre walked out on the set with Bobby Heenan and took in front of Hulk Hogan. It's like, what are you doing with him? And like that's what Hulk said. That's what I was like. What are you doing with him? Sitting
Yeah.
on the couch next to Paul Heyman. And gosh almighty, the tribal chief was
The
born.
rest
The
is
head of the
history.
table is right there, and the
Yeah.
rest is history. And that's who he has been ever since. And he's been booed because he's been a bad guy. He's been cheered because he's been
But
a good
even
guy.
as a
But who
heel,
cares?
man, it was those good boos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was the heat from the fan. It wasn't hatred from the fans. It was the heel heat boos. Like we love to hate you.
We're into the story.
Yeah, like it's not just we
Yeah.
can't stand this guy. He's being shoved down our throats. It's
Not at all. No,
no,
no.
it's the kind of boo that you want. It's the pop that you want as a heel. Kind of like what Dom gets.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But then, like, the more entertaining that Bloodline story got, though, a lot of those boos started crossing over into cheers, and it's like then his music would hit and they would cheer, but then they would boo because it's like, oh yes, Roman's here, boo,
Yeah.
like. So he's kind of like I've said before, that anti-hero type,
Yeah.
and now it's just pop. That
Hmm.
music hits, pop, and once again Monday night, and the music hits, and he comes out to the ring. CM Punk, interrupts him right
Yeah,
away.
I was gonna say it didn't take him long.
Yeah, and man, I love how when Roman starts talking, he doesn't refer to him as CM Punk.
Phil,
He's Phil.
his government name.
Yeah, like because CM Punk said something about the tweets and what did my tweet hurt your feelings, Phil? Like,
Oh man,
I love it, man. I love Roman on the mic, man, because I remember how bad he was before.
suffering succotash.
Like I remember how bad he was, and so, but I don't know if y'all have ever watched A&E had this series. I think it's called Evil or something like that, and
It was on Peacock.
it's on Peacock
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
WWE Evil
um,
was on Peacock. Well, it was on Peacock.
it was it
It may
was
still be there. I'm not sure.
it was an A&E show, I think, at first, but I think it did go to Peacock, but where they did a special on different heels. But the one on Roman was awesome because they talked to like people in his family and people in the business, and they talked about why he thrives so much in this tribal chief character is because he's able to be more of himself, which obviously anytime you can be more authentic to you, your character is going to thrive. And so when he's able to cut loose and just be his sarcastic self and all that stuff, it's showing, like it shines on the mic. And so the promo that we got last night was great. I
Hmm.
thought they both had some great shots. Um, some people say CM Punk got the better of Roman. Some say Roman got the better of CM Punk. I thought it was a pretty fair.
It's pretty even. Punk got the last word.
He did get the last
That's
word.
important to note. He got the
Grabbed
last
grabbed
word
him
this
by the
time.
arm, pulled him back.
Yeah.
The comment he made
Mm-hmm.
is one of those comments that you're like,
You
you
don't say
know,
that.
he had to have gotten his permission before to say that. Like
I would hope. I don't know.
the
Ah,
I'm gonna bury you next to your dead father.
man.
Like,
Mm,
oof, gosh, that line was like, okay, I'm I can't imagine what we're gonna get out of Roman the next time he comes out.
hmm. Yeah.
But Roman was hitting him with the we brought you back, for the 40-year-old virgins so you could sell some merchandise. And then I'm going to, what it was, he's like,
Yeah.
and then after WrestleMania, I'm going to put you on the John Cena retirement tour. And, like, so he's like, you're going to retire me? And don't you walk away from me.
Yeah.
And then he said, he made that. And I was just like, oof, oof. It reminded me a lot of The Rock and Cena, their feud before, uh, which WrestleMania was it?
It was
27,
29.
29,
28 and 29.
28 and 29. That's what it
Yep.
was. Yeah, where Rock was out there doing. When I loved it when Rock would do the singing stuff. Man,
The Rock
he did.
concerts. Yeah.
He did one with Vicky Guerrero that was hilarious. But
Oh, yeah, I know it.
but when he said that one about Cena's wife, like because he was going through an ugly divorce at the time, and he put a line in there. But I was like, oh my god, I did he clear that with him before he said it? Like that's kind of how this was last night. I was like, hey man, did he get the not? Did they just agree that nothing's off the table, or
Yeah.
was that line ran bomb? Like, oh God, that's an awfully personal line, and like we said earlier, it's one of those where it's like, okay, we are definitely walking that thin line of what's real, what's not.
Yeah. Which we need to. This
Absolutely,
this in this case, in this
absolutely,
scenario, this time of year, going into this event, it's not going to get any more real or like hit these superstars more home than it is going into this event,
right.
this match. Um, yeah, it's just you don't say that to another human being.
Mm-mm.
You just don't go there, and Punk did, and we're just getting started because
Yeah,
there's 7 weeks of stuff that's still going to go down between these two. If all they did for the next 7 weeks was just come out every Raw and just do what they did last night, if all they do is just talk and trade barbs at each other and not touch a hair on each other's head, I would be totally fine with that.
yeah,
That would be amazing, and
yeah.
it would make the match at WrestleMania. We would want it more.
Well, honestly, I get tired of I don't know, just oh, we go out there, we mouth, then we start fighting, and everyone's holding us back, and we fight through, and we jump over everybody and
Yeah,
hit, and then we get separated, and then we fight through again. Like, it's one of those things to me that's played out. Like, we need to take a break from that for a little bit because that seems to happen every big feud. I like to see the restraint. I like to see, because what I mean, like, honestly, when he grabbed him like that, I was waiting on Roman to throw a punch. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And them to
yeah,
kind of have their little melee. So I like to see the restraint. I like the verbal back and forth. That's what we need. Let's build it. Let's build it.
yeah.
It comes across as more genuine and authentic than the fake fighting.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, it also makes for a dope video package.
Oh man,
There's that. I mean, when there's just, gosh, one of the greatest video packages of all time was WrestleMania 17, Austin and The Rock, where most of it's that sit-down interview they had with JR in the locker room, and Austin's like, "I need to beat you, Rock. I need to beat you more than you could ever imagine." So most of it's that, but stick to that Limp Bizkit song, My Way. But I mean, one of the best video packages of all time. Let me talk real quick about NXT because a lot of people sleep on NXT, and shame on you for doing so because NXT last week was off the chain. We had 3 title matches, two of which actually we had 4 title matches because we had a Speed Championship triple threat match first time ever. Um, two of which changed hands. The Vandy Project who are new to NXT, who are in the WWE ID program this time last year on WWE Evolve, which is where a lot of that talent competes and is shown off. They beat Dark State for the NXT Tag Team Championships, and the match itself was insane. Go back and watch it if you haven't. But yes, huge upset, and congratulations to the Vanity Project. Miles Bourne beat Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship in the main event. Miles Bourne, a lot of comparisons are drawn from him to Randy Orton. He's the guy that you saw, if you don't watch NXT, he's the guy that you saw online a few years ago that people thought he looked like Randy Orton, like he's Baby Orton. Um, you know, uh, he's legally deaf. He can hear a little bit, but the way he talks, you can tell he's deaf. It doesn't stop him. It's not limited him a bit. He is great and fantastic at what he does. He's a champion for that reason. Um, Man, I have harped and harped and harped for the last 2 years. I feel like all Zarya and Soruka have ever done was get in each other's way and have drama and have to squash it week after week after week after week. Finally, before the bell rang for Soruka's um, title match against JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship, Zarya finally bodied Soruka Spear before the bell
Yeah.
and viciously attacked her. Bodied this woman finally. So, gosh, I was so glad to see it because for 2 years straight, all it's been was just this back and forth. Like you think they're gonna implode, and then they come back together, and then they implode, and they come back together for 2 years. And finally, Zarya just got to where she had enough and just speared her out of nowhere and just said, "The heck with you, Soruka." And I like Soruka, but I was ready for Zaruka to no longer be a thing. So now Zarya will get on her own career path and get back to where she wants to be when she first came into NXT 2 years ago or so. So I was so glad to see that. NXT Vengeance Day, I believe, is this weekend of PLE, which emanates from the PC, which there hasn't been a PLE from the PC. It's a lot of letters. There hasn't been a PLE from the PC in quite some time. So there's that. And then in literally a month's time, we have Stand and Deliver, which is not going to be on WrestleMania weekend for the first time. Thank goodness. I am so glad. It was ridiculous to have an NXT PLE the Saturday of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Come on. Too much at one time. Thank goodness now it's finally its own standalone event, not on WrestleMania weekend. So a lot of us will actually be able to watch it when it airs because it won't be on a day of WrestleMania. So glad to see that. Thank you, Sean, for making that decision. I'm assuming it was you, Shawn Michaels, chef down there, cooking up stuff so good. Um, yeah, NXT is on fire. Has been on fire for a long, long time. If you don't watch NXT, I don't know. I don't know what to do for you.
Well,
Uh,
I think nothing speaks on the success of NXT quite like when you see guys getting caught up, like the Lyra Valkyrias, the Trick
mm-hmm,
Williams, the Javon Evans, like seeing those guys come up to the main stage, the main roster, and just hit the ground running. That's a testament to what's going on down in NXT.
mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, I slept on NXT. I'm just now really getting into the NXT thing because I don't know, man. I just cared about the main roster, but when you see these guys come up and do so well, you're like, dang man, I must be really missing something because like I look at all the Trick Williams and Javon Evans and all that stuff right now, and I'm like, man, I've missed out on a lot. I could have been watching them for years now, probably.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
NXT, if you're not familiar with it, man, just tune in, give it a watch, man. It's worth it.
It is. It is. And also, while you're sleeping, don't sleep on Evolve. Don't sleep on AAA either. Evolve, it's where you have a lot of the PC talent that aren't on NXT just yet, and a lot of the ID talent that are still, fighting for their lives and careers on the independent scene, but they are WWE ID signed. So last week they had a 10-man tag, Team PC against Team ID, and it was tremendous. Um, tonight, not tonight, tomorrow night, I'm sorry, is Evolve's Succession, which is their big event. This is the second one, actually. Um, Jackson Drake defends the Evolve Championship against Cappuccino Jones, who is the WWE ID Men's Champion, and has been for almost an entire year now, actually. He's the only men's champion so far. There have been two ID Women's Champions. The first one was Kylie Ray. She's no longer in the program. Lady Luck is the ID Women's Champion. If they win that championship, they get signed to a WWE ID contract. They show up on Evolve. That's how that works. Um, so Evolve's a very small show, very small, limited crowd, but there's some killer talent, some killer matches on there. Um, AAA, gosh almighty, I mean, it's Mexico's WWE, folks. It always has been, but now WWE owns it. So now it's WWE AAA, and the Undertaker is pretty much the creative head over everything down there. Um, just week after week, I mean, just new talent and talents that I've never seen before, or talents that I've seen just kind of here and there, maybe. Um, Dragon Lee and Jack Cartwheel had a fire match on AAA this past week. It was a Cruiserweight Championship #1 contenders match. And Jack Cartwheel is one of those guys that he's revolutionary. He's going to be kind of in the vein of like a Rob Van Dam or a Paul London back in their day of the kind of these underground guys that are just doing these things that nobody else does. Jack Cartwheel does things that nobody else does. You just watch him. Kind of reminds me of Rey Mysterio Jr. back in like the mid-90s. Now it's high praise, but I'm dead serious. Um, and there's several folks down there like that. Um, so just watch that stuff too. You will not be disappointed. So let's see.
Basically, there's tons of great programming, man. Like more than just Raw and SmackDown. There's so much. I mean, honestly, you could watch something every single day, man.
You literally could. Literally, you literally
Which,
could.
if you're a wrestling nerd like me, that's a great problem to have.
Hmm.
I mean, it's always cool, like to know, man. Well, hey, I can go to YouTube and turn this on. I can go to YouTube and turn this on. Like you can catch it all on YouTube, man. Like even though we don't have the WWE Network anymore, which God, please bring it back.
I wish. I
But
wish. I wish.
but you can find it, man. Like that's how I caught up on NXT. I went to their YouTube page and caught up on everything that happened. And you can watch it a segment at a time if you want to. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to just sit and watch the whole show. Fast forward. It breaks down the segments. That's all there. AAA, all of it, man. Go to YouTube and just don't miss out on it, man. There's a lot of great talent out there. And then when they do get caught up, you'll know who they are
Yeah.
already.
So NXT episodes are available on the CW app. They actually have an entire channel, an NXT channel on the CW app that just airs episodes all the time, 24/7. So that's cool. Um, but in addition to that, there's past NXT episodes on YouTube, in the NXT YouTube channel. There's actually some on Tubi as well, and that's where Evolve lives, is on Tubi, and WWE AAA is on YouTube Saturday nights. So I mean, all free. You don't have to
Yeah,
pay a dime
best
for
part.
it.
Best part.
It's yeah. If you're not watching, you're sleeping on it. Don't sleep on it. It's so good, so good.
Well, guys, man, it was a great week. Hope you guys enjoyed all the programming, Elimination Chamber. We'd love to hear your thoughts about all of it and kind of some of the predictions and stuff that we've talked about. But man, once again, I'm Rusty. This is Billy. Rusty and Billy's Wrestling Adventure, man. 9 weeks in, we appreciate it. Um, Solo, go ahead and close us out.
4 letters, one word. Stop.